Here's what's making news at midday. Dangerously low temperatures and wind chills are causing problems for people looking to travel for the holidays. We'll tell you what the Department of Transportation is saying. Also, the House prepares to pass a $1 trillion spending bill just in time to avoid a government shutdown. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday and Merry Christmas Eve to you. Mark will be back with us on Monday. The message from the DOT today: do not travel unless absolutely necessary. This as wind chills well below zero and strong gusts are blowing throughout the day. The good news right now, Madison Streets Division says citywide snow plowing has been completed. The crews will now begin cleanup operations, keeping the snow drifts from forming. Here's a look at the DOT's current 511 map, and you can see most of the road conditions, almost all of them, are considered slippery at this hour because of the extremely cold temperatures. The salt doesn't work when it gets this cold. Crews are now working to apply sand to hills, intersections, and curves. Let's get an update right now from the Weather Center. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart is watching the forecast, and boy, the wind is the big story today, Greg.
Yeah, well, the good news is Mark's going to come back for warmer temperatures next week. Yes. More to come on that once we get there. But yeah, right now it's really going to be the rural areas that have more of the blizzard conditions, but everyone's getting the dangerous wind chills, especially this morning, and that's what's going to continue through Saturday. So if you look at the impacts, it's really just the cold and the wind blowing the snow. We don't see any much more falling snow for the next several days, so that's not the problem. It's what's on ground. Right now, current temperatures are in the single digits below zero. We were about 10 to 12 below this afternoon. We'll start warming up very slowly as you move into Dane County. Anywhere from -4 to -5. It's generally been pretty uniform across the area. Wind chills have been 35 to 40. Those are the wind gusts, I'm sorry. We've seen wind gusts as high as 43 down to Dubuque, a couple areas, Janesville 43 too. It's the rural areas, the higher elevations, the ridges that are really getting the worst of these conditions, and that's reflected in the visibility right now. Further west, southwest Wisconsin, that's where 3/4 of a mile of Platteville. This is all due to blowing snow and visibility reductions due to that, and that's the problem. Urban areas, not as bad. Wind chills, once again, 35 below has been pretty good. We saw 40 below here earlier. That'll improve a little bit. Big picture, blizzard-wise, conditions to the west and open country, that's where they're seeing really the ground blizzard conditions. We still got the winter storms through 6 a.m. You look at the big picture, nothing out to the west, which is good. We don't have a system until you get well west. If you look at to the east, they're getting all the cold air. That surface low did kind of bomb out there, and those cold temperatures are all the way to southern Florida. In fact, today's Brownsville's high temperature was supposed to be 37, so this encompasses the whole U.S. I'll break down when we'll actually start warming up and get rid of this cold conditions a bit later in the broadcast.
Looking forward to that. All right, thank you, Greg. We'll check back in just a little bit. New at noon, a malfunctioning furnace caused a carbon monoxide leak at a Madison apartment building earlier today. Fire crews were called to the 2400 block of Parker Place just before 3 a.m. after an alarm started sounding. They found carbon monoxide readings of 35 parts per million on the first floor and 100 ppm in the basement. They found even higher levels in an adjacent apartment that had no working carbon monoxide alarms. Both apartments were ventilated, and luckily no one required medical attention. On this Friday before Christmas, it started with thousands of flights already canceled and millions trying to get home. The massive winter storm brought busy Chicago O'Hare to a virtual halt because of snow, wind, and ice. More than 560 flights were canceled there yesterday. The storm is causing travel chaos nationwide as it whips across the Midwest and into the Northeast.
I mean, we're hopeful, but in the back of both of our minds, we're like, I don't know if we're going to make it out tonight.
Even after the snow and rain stop, the extreme cold slows down airport operations, so experts say to expect cancellations and delays to stretch into the weekend. Will your holiday gifts make it to their destination? Well, possibly not because of this winter storm. The weather has delayed deliveries nationwide. FedEx issued a statement today saying its hubs in Indianapolis and Memphis suffered major disruptions, and UPS announced a similar situation, saying that services in some regions may be affected. We're not the only ones trying to stay warm in this bitter cold. Our pets are just as sensitive to the weather as we are. We talked to some veterinarians who say you can still take your pets for walks in these colder temperatures, but keep them short. It's better to take multiple shorter walks more often than one long one. When you get back home, check your dog's paws for salt and warm them up if you can. Although pets obviously have fur, that doesn't mean they're immune to the cold weather.
They can, withstand the cold temperatures. Huskies are double coated, but it's that wind that can still cause frostbite. If it's too cold for us, it's too cold for them.
And we're thinking about our dairy farmer friends this noon. Don't forget to check on livestock. Humane officers suggest giving them about 25% more food than you usually do, because when animals shiver, they burn a lot of calories. Stay up to date on the latest weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, school closings, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. And we also have everything you need to know on our website. Look for a special section on the top of our homepage, channel3000.com. You'll find weather alerts, a list of closed businesses, and canceled holiday services. U.S. lawmakers are expected to avoid a shutdown of the federal government today with just hours to spare. The House is expected to approve a budget for the rest of the fiscal year. Amy Kiley reports.
I am so proud of my colleagues, every single one of them.
The U.S. is poised to get a new omnibus budget, the House taking up the $1.7 trillion packet. That's after the Senate passed it with bipartisan support yesterday.
It is the outcome that our country actually needs.
The bill funds the federal government through next September. That's when the fiscal year ends. For months, Congress has been using stopgap plans to keep the government operating. In fact, it's relying on one now. A second bill is to give clerks a week to prepare the broader legislation for President Joe Biden to sign.
And I can say this about my colleagues, their unity was miraculous.
The omnibus includes a provision aimed at making it harder to overturn a certified presidential election. It also includes about $45 billion in emergency assistance for NATO allies and Ukraine. That's even though some Republicans have begun to balk at the cost of the war.
We don't want to have Afghanistan 2.0.
There's no accountability whatsoever. We have spent more on Ukraine than all of the Europeans put together.
The scramble to fund the government sending lawmakers home for the holidays later than originally planned.
I hope this Christmas season marks a fresh start for our nation.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A Madison woman who pleaded guilty to distributing meth was sentenced yesterday to 15 months in federal prison. 28-year-old Juana Amenta Mora was arrested in April after the Department of Justice said she sold a kilo of methamphetamine to a confidential informant. Mora told investigators that two people she knew from Mexico came to her house and asked her to sell meth, but she claims she only did it one time. Her prison term will be followed by 3 years of supervised release. Wisconsin Republicans who control the legislature are divided on whether to push for rape and incest abortion exceptions. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos told the Associated Press that he will push for a bill that grants clear exceptions to protect the life and health of the mother and in cases of rape and incest. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu says he won't bring forward the bill because it's a tough vote for Republicans to take. Governor Tony Evers has pledged to veto any bill that keeps the state's 173-year-old ban in place, and Democrats are suing to overturn the ban. This week, Governor Evers appointed a new judge to Dane County. Ryan Nielsestoon had served as the chief legal counsel for the governor's office since 2019. He was also the chair of the Pardon Advisory Board and chief legal counsel for the State Department of Public Instruction. Nielsestoon will be filling the vacancy left by retiring Judge Juan Colas. His term will run through July of 2024. Well, stay with us. There's much more to come today at noon. When we come back, some important recalls to warn you about. We'll tell you what to do if you own these products in the Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Happy holidays greetings from our Dwellings family to yours. Happy holidays!
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This holiday season at the Century House, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Menards carries the tools you need to complete your projects. In stock and ready to go. Known for innovative designs and affordable prices, WISC provides power and ease to get the job done right. Pick up a brad nailer for those weekend projects. Or save on a switch driver for jobs around the house. Save big money this holiday season with innovative tools from WISC at Menards. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Need life insurance? Select Quote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And Select Quote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Select Quote. We shop, you save.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Lawmakers are now questioning some major car companies about their supply chains after a British report found that some car parts were made in an area of China where forced labor is rampant. The Senate Finance Committee sent letters requesting more information from 8 automakers, including Ford, General Motors, and Tesla. GM has already issued a statement saying its policies prohibit involuntary labor, and it actively monitors its supply chain. The U.S. bans most imports from the Chinese region in question. An important recall this morning involving children's weighted blankets. Target is recalling 204,000 pillow fort blankets after 2 children suffocated. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the children died after reportedly becoming trapped inside the cover, which unzips. The blankets were sold in stores and online from December 2018 through September 2022. And Samsung is recalling more than 600,000 top-loading washing machines over concerns they could short-circuit and overheat, posing a fire hazard. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says owners should immediately stop use of the machines until the software is updated. They're washing machines that were bought from June 2021 through December 2022. More information on specific recalled model numbers and software updates can be found on Samsung's and the CPSC's website. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman.
Let's check stocks at the noon hour. The Dow is up almost 154 points. The Nasdaq is up almost 6, and the S&P 500 is up about 19. More layoffs at Twitter. Additional workers were fired yesterday as part of an ongoing downsizing under new owner Elon Musk. The layoffs included employees from the public policy and media and entertainment teams. Musk is seeking to cut costs at the struggling company that the billionaire purchased for $44 billion. Today's ag prices are coming up next, along with Greg's weekend forecast. And then later this afternoon on Live at 4, we'll take a wild and wondrous look back at the craziest viral stories and trends of 2022.
Celebrate home for the holidays with a better night's sleep at Ashley. Save up to 55% off mattresses, including this Beauty Rest Select Queen Hybrid. Receive a comforter, 2 pillows, and a 4-piece sheet set for free with purchase. And free delivery, all for less than $21 a month, only at Ashley.
The holidays are for making memories. And you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Why get the updated COVID-19 vaccine? Because life's a little better when we're all boosted. It's the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19's most serious effects, especially if you're over 50 or have a weaker immune system. Give your health a boost. Find the updated COVID-19 vaccine near you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/vaccine.
Look! It's easy to say things. Anyone can do that.
Look closer.
Meaning what you say, that's a little harder, and a little harder to find. But at US Cellular, when we say you get unlimited data for $29.99 per line, we don't mean only if you get 4 lines. We mean $29.99 per line, even 1. Plus, every plan is price protected for every customer.
Celebrate home for the holidays at Ashley. Save big on furniture and mattresses with discounts from 30% off and up to 83% off on closeouts. Plus, our gift to you, free white glove delivery. Furnish a room for less than $20 a month, only at Ashley.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, LL Cool J is in the house.
I can tell what year it is by my jewelry. I know the chains got a little bigger and all that.
And Tony Award winner Michael R. Jackson is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified, most accurate team, First Warn Weather. Only on News 3 Now. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Pam Yonke from the Midwest Farm Report is on her holiday break. She'll be back with us after the new year. Here are the farm numbers for Friday. is out, Greg, and it is doing absolutely nothing for us. It is brutal out there today.
It won't do a thing really right now. Just make it feel or look like it's warm outside until you step outside, then you see it. But I always like the positive. If you look at Christmas stats, we're coming up with Christmas, so it's going to be a cold one, but it's definitely not the coldest one we had. 21 below was back in 2000, so that was even colder than that. Obviously, we're not going to be the warmest. That was 56 back in 1982. We should be around 28 and 13. We'll be closer probably to the low as our high temperature. So it'll be cold, but not too bad. If you look at the forecast right now, like I said, we're only going to be looking at about 10 degrees for that day. Breezy conditions, so there still could be some blowing and drifting and some low wind chill, but it won't be like today or even tomorrow right now. If you look at nationwide, these are the high temperatures for today. The color behind it is if it's above or below normal. Obviously, the purple is well below normal, 30 to 40 below. Place to be is out west right now. The good news is we are going to start seeing some of that warm air with that ridge out there expanding next week into our area. So that's something to come. But notice, like I said, 36 at Brownsville for a high temperature today, so pretty cold. Overall travel impacts, just a few snow showers or flurries. The impacts are not going to be from accumulating snow anymore. That's pretty much done. We're going to be the blowing and drifting, 20 to 40 below. And then, like I said, tomorrow we'll see slight improvements in that. Still some blowing and drifting, especially in rural areas. That's really the ridge lines and all those places like that. We'll continue to see those type of conditions, but a little bit of improvement tomorrow. Today, the temperatures are going to start climbing just a little bit. We might reach 0 by this afternoon or this evening. There's a little bit of positive news overnight. The temperature is actually going to remain steady or slowly rise up to maybe a degree or two. Still going to be cold with those wind chills, but we won't see those temperatures like we saw this morning. As you wake up tomorrow morning, you'll see the temperatures 1 to 2 to 3 degrees above 0. We were about 10 to below this morning. And then tomorrow, a little bit warmer. We'll get into the single digits above, maybe even 10 degrees at some places. Once again, the wind chills will still be cold, but not as bad. Today, the winds 25 to 30 with some gusts higher as we go through tomorrow. Once again, the winds will still remain strong, but more towards the north. You can kind of see it outlining the higher elevations, those ridges, those hills, kind of where you're going to see the stronger wind gusts and blowing and drifting through tomorrow. But we are going to start seeing a little bit of decrease in the winds. Wind chills this morning were 35 to 40. We'll be more in that 25 to maybe 30 degree range this afternoon. Tonight, once again, it could get as low as 35 below. Slightly warmer temps will probably keep that a little bit than what we saw last night. And then tomorrow, we'll probably see 10 to 20 below, if a little bit colder than that. So a little bit improvement, still cold, obviously. The good news, once again, here's that warm air that gets pulled northward by next week. That's the positive news. Kind of the negative on that, we're going to probably see rain come with this towards New Year's, which could mean fog, could be melting conditions too, something to keep an eye on. But we should see 40 degrees, and that's reflective in the 10-day. Once we turn to Wednesday, we're going to be climbing pretty quickly to almost the mid-40s by Friday. Notice those overnight lows will be mid-30s, which probably means we might see some foggy conditions too with all that moisture hanging around. New Year's looks warm, mild, maybe some rain too, but definitely a flip the switch here. So we just got to get through Christmas, and then if you like some mild weather, we're going to have it on its way.
Wow, what a wild swing. Just have to get through the next couple of days.
Exactly.
All right, Greg, thank you. This time of the year, a lot of people fall victim to identity thieves and texting scams. Christina Lazar tells us how to avoid them.
Well, if you're like me, you're glued to your cell phone this time of year, and it's because you're more likely to be busy and distracted that thieves see the holiday season as a great time to strike. Last holiday season, nearly 75% of Americans were targeted by scams. The text scams that were the most popular last year included delivery scams, prompting victims to click a link to provide personal information or even money so their package can be delivered. Also, fake fraud alerts by thieves posing as your bank. Finally, verification scams, such as asking you to verify your Amazon account so you can continue shopping.
They're really hoping that they're going to catch you off guard and you want to just make that problem go away, and you react so quickly. But in reality, once you get those, that's exactly when you need to stop yourself and slow down, because they're really trying to catch you.
So how can you protect yourself? Well, always validate a message that's asking for money or your personal information. Go directly to the source. Also, never click a link in a text. It opens you up to phishing. What do you do if you've already messed up and you fell for a scam? Well, change all your passwords. Next, alert companies to put a freeze on your credit. And if you downloaded any software, delete it right away. In Los Angeles, I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News.
Coming up next, we'll see what Howard's working on today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Right now, there's plenty of details to think about without worrying about what to serve Christmas morning. No worries, because we've got that covered for you.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What does your retirement future look like? With a well-built retirement, your future can look bright. Your financial home secure. Retirements are built here every day. Call now and start building yours.
We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s is a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit, and I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this holiday season for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement. So take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
Come Christmas morning, there are enough people and things that need your time and attention. Never mind worrying about what everybody wants for breakfast. So today, we're sharing an easy throw-together French toast bake that everyone will love, including you, because it will let you focus on what really matters, your family and the presents that Santa left for you. We begin by mixing together some eggs, half and half, a bit of sugar, a touch of cinnamon, some nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. We slowly pour this over a French bread that we cut into thick slices and let it sit in the fridge for about a half hour, or even overnight. When all the liquid's absorbed, we pop it in the oven until it's golden brown and it gets all puffy. Then sprinkle it with powdered sugar, drizzle on some warm maple syrup, and get ready for some good eating. So here's my gift to you. The recipe for our super easy Jolly French Toast Bake is online now, so you can cross Christmas morning breakfast off your to-do list. I'm Howard with our hungry little elf Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a jolly good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to you, and over to Greg for a final check on the weather.
Yeah, definitely the blowing and drifting in open country is a real thing. Urban areas may not be so bad with the blowing and drifting. The winds definitely will be there. Wind chills -40. You look at the time of these wind chills, they're going to be cold. Good news is next week we warm up.
All right, Greg, thank you. Take good care, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good day, and we'll see you back here at 4.